Hi, this is a quick plug for the Cyberknife. The Cyberknife can cure cancers or can kill cancers or tumors anywhere in the male or female body or brain. Just about anywhere in the male or female body or brain. I'm living proof because it cured my prostate cancer in 2007 without surgery. The scenario for curing my prostate cancer was like this. For 5 days in a row, I would drive to a hospital that had a Cyberknife facility on my way to work. That's right, I drove to and from work every single day for 5 days in a row. There was absolutely zero interruption between my relationship with my wife. Yeah, there was no interruption in that area. And without surgery was the key for me. I did it without surgery. I remained fully clothed. The computer-controlled robot aimed accurately at my prostate, and it took about 45 minutes. And the Cyberknife can kill cancers or tumors anywhere in the male or female body. But right now, my emphasis is on defeating prostate cancer. And if you go to cyberknife.com, you can use the search functionality in the website to find the Cyberknife location. You can find it by entering your zip code. You can find a hospital that has a Cyberknife, and the website will tell you which one is closest to you. I was fortunate in that I was able to just get up 15-20 minutes earlier than normal in order to be at my daily treatments on my way to work. I would stop and be treated and then continue on my job on my way to work. And the Cyberknife will treat tumors or cancers virtually anywhere in the human body in a similar fashion without surgery. No cutting is involved. Hi, in this presentation I'm going to talk about the advantages of owning an extended range electric vehicle such as a Cadillac ELR. I'm going to talk about the major components. I will also talk about the energy efficiency of the extended range electric vehicle, such as the Cadillac ELR, or the Chevrolet Volt for that matter. Keep in mind that everything that I talk about on the ELR, to some extent, to some level, is available inside the Chevrolet Volt as well. Now, what you're looking at now is my 2014 Cadillac ELR. And one component that I will talk about first is an accessory that the car comes with. It comes with a 14-foot cord that will plug into the charge port where you see my cursor circling right there. That is where the charge port is to plug the car into a standard 120-volt outlet. That's right, it will plug into standard household electricity. I plug my car into a standard electrical outlet all the time. And that's the standard accessory that comes with the vehicle. Now, when the car is plugged in, what is being charged is the power supply. The power supply runs along the center of the console, the center of the vehicle, and forms a T at the right under the back seat. So it's basically like a giant T. The car is an electric car. As long as there's electricity available, then the ELR can be driven. The wheels are driven by electric motors. The car doesn't care where the electricity comes from. It could come from the charged power supply, or it could come from the generator. The generator is the gasoline engine that the car carries on board. Now that covers the major components. That's the major components that I wanted to discuss anyway. One of the advantages of owning an extended range electric vehicle is that you don't use near as much gasoline as you do with a standard vehicle or some of these other hybrids that are running around here. Yeah, you don't use near as much gasoline. When I'm driving around on my daily commute of approximately 50 miles every day, I don't use any gasoline. I may once in a while use about a quarter of a gallon. I may use a quart of gas. Once in a while, I will use a half a gallon of gas to travel about 50 miles. And as a result of that, there may be less maintenance required on the vehicle if the vehicle is used as it's designed to be used, as the engineers intended for a person to use it. As long as the car is plugged in on a regular basis, the gasoline engine or the generator does not run anywhere near as often as it does on a conventionally powered automobile. The vast majority of my mileage was accumulated while the engine was not running, the generator was not running. Most of my mileage was accumulated while the car is being driven by the electronic power supply. What turns the wheels in the ELR is electric motors, not a gasoline engine. And speaking of the engine, that's another advantage of having a extended range electric vehicle, is that if and when the engine is running, it's running to generate electricity. And generators run at one speed, period. It's just run at one speed as designed by the engineers of that particular system. In the ELR's case, the engine runs at 1800 RPM. So the engine is not put through the different stresses of a standard gasoline engine. When you put your foot on the accelerator, you're not changing the air-fuel mixture in the engine. So therefore the engine is not put under anywhere near as much stress as it is on a standard gasoline-powered automobile. This car is ran by electricity. What turns the wheels is electric motors, which are powered by electricity, obviously. So that's the major advantages that I can think of owning an extended range electric vehicle. Another advantage is not only saving maintenance costs, but also saving lots of money in gasoline. There was one instance where I remember I used more gasoline in one day to mow my lawn than I did in my ELR for an entire week. And my lawnmower at the time held 2 gallons of gas. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the mileage on the ELR. Okay, here you see one day where I received 173 miles per gallon on a particular. The 173 miles per gallon was on that trip of 46.8 total miles. I want to make that very clear. For these 46.8 miles, I averaged 173 miles per gallon. I went 36.3 miles in 10.5 miles. I went 36.3 miles on electricity that was generated by the power supply. If you follow my cursor movement, my mouse movement there. And I went 10.5 miles on electricity that was provided by the generator or the gas engine. And the circle there represents the percentage. The green portion of the circle represents the percentage of the 46 miles that was traveled using only electricity from the power supply. And the blue section of the circle represents the percentage of the 46 miles that was traveled using the generator to generate electricity. Now, at 46.8 total miles traveled and 0.26 gallons of gas used, I use about 1 quart of gas. A quart of gas to go 46 miles. The computer calculates that using gasoline at that rate, that is equivalent to 173 miles per gallon. Now you see my lifetime on this particular date, August 13th, 2015, the lifetime MPG on my car since I've owned it is 81.4. The reason it is less than 100 is because when I drive out of state or out of town, quite frankly, electrical outlets are not as plentiful as I as I think they should be. And I cannot plug my car in when I'm out of town. And when I drive out of town, I literally drive hundreds or sometimes a couple of thousand miles at a shot. And that has a big impact on that affects my mileage in a negative fashion. So, in summary, what I've talked about is the advantages, the major components of the automobile, how you can possibly save maintenance. If the car is used as it should be used, you can save on maintenance costs, and maintenance downtime, and you can save a lot of money as far as how much money you spend on gasoline, and you greatly reduce your emissions, the poisonous fumes that you spit out into the atmosphere.